Here's a statistic that might surprise you. The US birth rate has fallen more than 25% since 2007. Right now, the United States sees about 11 births per 1,000 people each year. Another way economists measure this is the fertility rate. In the US, that number is roughly 1.6 children per woman. For comparison, the global average is about 2.3 children per woman, which is close to what demographers call the replacement level. Roughly 2.1, the rate needed to keep a population stable. India sits around 2.0, close to replacement level. Mexico is around 1.9. The United States is now well below that replacement rate.
Our birth rates are in steep decline, and the richer your country is, the more likely it's happening. Between 2010 and 2020, more than 70% of developed countries saw a decline in their fertility rates, the number of children born per woman. The Congressional Budget Office estimates that in less than 20 years, America will have more deaths than births, at which point the only way for the population to grow would be through immigration. There's actually a lot of disagreement as to whether this represents a problem, and if so, how much of a problem. For every figure like Elon Musk, who's called population decline an existential risk, you'll find others who say, we don't have that much to worry about.
At first glance, that sounds alarming. An aging population means fewer workers paying taxes to support retirees. Countries rely on younger generations to keep the economy moving, fund social security, and support public programs. And immigration often helps fill that gap. But immigration into the United States has slowed significantly. Fewer babies can create long-term economic pressure. But the story behind the numbers is more complicated. A big part of the decline isn't coming from women deciding to never have children. It's coming from fewer teenagers and very young women having babies. Since 2007, the teen birth rate has dropped about 70%. Births among unmarried women have also fallen by about 30%. For decades, the country spent an enormous effort trying to reduce teen pregnancy and encourage women to wait until they were more financially stable before having children. And that's largely what happened. More women are choosing to finish school, build careers, and establish financial stability before becoming parents. Reliable birth control has also played a major role. Long-term contraception like IUDs and implants became much more widely used during the same period. As a result, childbirth in America has shifted later in life. Women in their early 30s now have the highest birth rate of any age group, and women in their early 40s are actually more likely to give birth than teenagers. So while fewer babies are being born overall, the majority of women still say they want children, usually around 2. They're just having them later. If Americans still want children, but are waiting longer to have them, will those births eventually balance out, or is the country entering a new era of slower population growth? Let me know your thoughts.